Well, there's two things in common between me and the six storyline. One of them is we both have good hair. The second one is we're both failures. Um, Not my words, the word of Reddit. Has the six storyline been a failure? That's the question we are here to answer to you today. I know I just did a bit of self-reflection saying I'm a failure, because I am. I do YouTube for a living. So yeah, has the six storyline
Living is a stretch of a word, but yeah.
has the six storyline been a failure for you, mate? What's your take?
It's a big question because you have to look at it. If it's a story of multiple acts, is a story good if only the first act is worthwhile? But it's hard to do because we've not seen the end, but it feels like we may have, but we're also not entirely sure. So, like, theoretically, the sixth storyline can be saved by a really good, dramatic ending. But it's the thing of, it was a really bold storyline. Was the aftermath worth the initial kill? And that's the bit that's confusing. Because ultimately, it was an interesting story. It was an interesting way for 2023 to spend the year developing all these characters, the women who were going to be hurt and the men who were going to hurt them. Really interesting to see how all of these six women were, their lives were made worse due to the men. It was an interesting storyline. Didn't exactly have the best build-up either. Ultimately, it was only till about September where we start to be like, okay, who's actually in the fucking fire line though, guys? I know when Dean arrived, that's when it started to really kick it up towards Christmas time. Fairly interesting as well. It was good to be the detective. It was good to be like, all right, who the fuck's dying? Who the fuck's dying? Nobody did it. So clearly, if nobody really predicted it, ultimately it was probably quite a good and well planned out death in Keanu. That stuff I think is great. I still think that stuff is really great. And I think they really knocked it out of the park. But my problem is the aftermath has been shit. And it's, I've fundamentally tried to be quite reasonable and tried to be quite measured with these things. And I was still giving the six all of the time and the room it gave us, because ultimately the build up, Christmas, fantastic, really good. But like I said, it's a thing, and people are probably going to get sick of this soundbite. It's the post whodunit clarity. Everybody loves figuring out who dies. Everybody loves seeing who dies. Nobody loves the fucking year after of damage control, where it's like, I'm going to protect myself and my family, so don't you fuck with me, bitch. Like, yeah, all right, sounds. I mean, I get it. Everybody's in fucking damage control trying to save their lives. But it doesn't mean it was actually worth the fucking squeeze. That bit's the confusing bit. Because, all of the characters were somewhat elevated by this, but it also put them at odds to what they were doing before. Like, Stacy was initially what we thought with Theo. Theo stuff got wrapped up quickly. Now she's with Jack. But then her and Jack don't really fucking interact after Christmas. Denise has the mental breakdown, gets divorced from Jack. Kathy had to dump her husband and send him to prison for the rest of his fucking life. Suki's problem with Nish continued. Sharon killed had her husband killed, and and Linda fell off the wagon again, proceeding for another year of torment, another year of hurt. And is it cool that everybody affected has had a shit life afterwards? I think it's a cool bit of storytelling. But also it's fundamentally made the show a bit more miserable to sit through, because everybody's struggling now because of this horrendous action. I don't know whether it's a really good thing and it's really cool to see, or it's just kind of was the juice worth the squeeze? I'm still not entirely sure. I could go any more directions, but I'm going to let you talk now.
I mean, I was just fiddling with my hair for the last 5 minutes listening to this. I agree with you. It's weird because I'm trying to think here. I like it, but the problem is it's just the aftermath had so many endings that I don't know which is the ending, if it's continuing or it's not continuing. it hasn't wrapped up, but in the same way it has wrapped up, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it has it wrapped, has it not? Chris Clencher, answer my calls. Stop ignoring me. Answer my fucking calls. Please, please, babe, I love you. But I don't know. Yeah, like I know it's not. I know we're not supposed to glorify him, but my favorite bit of the whodunit is obviously Dean going, okay, I'm not a
Yeah,
murderer.
Dean, yeah, that's the richest bit. Dean finally confessing to the historical sexual assault of Linda because he thought he was going to get off scot-free. And it was the perfect embodiment of Dean as a character because he's like, oh, I fucking nailed this one. Who's the fucking man? It's me. Dean, you just sent yourself to prison for at least 10 years. Ah, well, it's not murder, is it? Fucking hell, all right.
It's the famous like TikTok sound being used. Like what's your thoughts on this guy? Oh, he's great. He's a murderer, and then it cuts to the guy going, what is it? He's a murderer. So what? So what?
Or just the fucking, or the famous Gogglebox clip where it's like, oh, everybody loves a bad boy. Not a terrorist. Like fucking, famous clip. But yeah, like, I don't know, like, if you think about it in moments, how many big moments have the Six storyline really had? It had Christmas. It had Christmas Day. It had
Denise
the
digging.
Linda episode.
It had
Denise's mental health. It had Dean's conclusion. Like, has it been worth? But it's still so open in a way where you'd have to imagine that we're gonna enter Act 3 going into the 40th anniversary. But where the fuck does it go? Does Linda finally get like under arrest, like under suspicion for saying she killed Keanu? Does she get away with it? Because ultimately, if there are no consequences, we're kind of like, we still need there to be consequences for the actions, because otherwise she's just going to get away with murder. Like, she's not Janine, she's fucking Linda. It's a completely different character. I don't know. There's too much in the air that makes it satisfying at all. Like, there's too many. It's like Reese. Where Reese, before he killed Debbie and before he started just stealing all her fucking money, it's like, oh, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? We don't know. And then that happens, go, oh no, he is just a bad guy. But like the wishy-washy in the middle, like, perhaps it is an intentional ploy to let it lie, but also, I mean, everybody's deciding it's shit now. Everybody's kind of went, all right, that was all right then. That was good. It was a good Christmas episode. Was it really good after? No, not really, but well, fuck it, Like, it's taken away the shine off of what for the last like year has been quite an underwhelming storyline.
I would agree. I'm just gonna read this if you don't mind. I'm gonna read now. It's alright, teacher. Thank you. The sixth storyline, is it done now? This is by that girl 8709. The police think Nish killed Keanu, and now Nish is dead. Dean has gone to prison for raping Linda. Bernie has forgiven Linda, and Linda is in rehab. So it's done, right? Okay. Starting off, long jumping meat 8701. Jesus, you know this guy. I've lost interest in the story that I don't even know what's happening. I lost interest after Christmas 2023. It was so boring back then. I've lost track of who knows. It was Linda, everyone minus Ollie and Annie. Tracy, she knows everything. I would agree. Reading on, if the replies will load. That's why her hair is so big. It's full of secrets. Not bad. The six, Suki, Sharon, Suki, Denise, Stacey, Kathy, Linda, obviously. Chrissy, Phil, Jack, Bernie, Elaine, Chrissy Watts. Bernie, Elaine, Johnny, Eve, Rocky, Nish, and Richie, Robbie and Dean, basically, and maybe Jake Moon, if Chrissy told him. Fuck that.
Yeah, Rocky doesn't know.
Well, Rocky
knew something was odd. He knew something was strange, but he was also drunk as fuck.
I'm pretty sure Rocky doesn't know for what it's worth. Lucas has some partial knowledge too. What about the cat? Drew?
What cat?
I don't know, it just says the cat. Ernest? Who knows, but Karen could come back in 5 years to stir shit. Ooh, that'd be lovely.
No, because she got the Julia's theme, and she came back twice. Why did she get the Julia's theme? Haha, Karen got the Julia's theme. Isn't that really annoying that she got the Julia's theme?
Karen blackmailing them and acting like a nut could have been good. I like when they're okay to make a chav really scary. I think the actress could deliver it too. She's not a chav.
I mean, hey, growing up in the 2000s, the chavs were the fucking like with the nude color lipsticks. What are you saying about you, man? It's like, oh god, not again, no. They are fucking lethal, man. They'll fuck you up. They got no boundaries.
With their little boombox blaring Evanescence.
Nah, they listen to like some shit drum and bass.
They listen to some new metal, I bet. Some Limp Bizkit, man behind.
Not really. No, not really. The fucking idea.
Man behind.
You're crossing streams, Mr.
So
Zuma man.
So what? A bit more like Alice DJ, Better Off Alone, like popping down the street.
Their taste isn't good enough for that. It's just shit. It's just shit.
Oh, so it's just a road man going Bomba Clash all the time, I bet. Yeah, my father had a blue Clash. Is that good? Well, Nugget is now aware that it was Denise who hit Nish and not Keanu. What with his brainwashing, wouldn't be surprised if he starts making life difficult, demanding to know about the truth from Suki about what happened. She did tell him the truth, but ran for his death at one time, but then later told Nugget she had lied after Nish domestically abused her. I could see him maybe take some frustration on Denise too with Ravi if he finds out. Oh, he also knew it was Denise. Months of telling me the truth about Dada G incoming. Yeah.
I mean, look, Nugget is a victim of this, you know? Nugget has been gaslit to believe that his granddad was actually a good bloke. So I don't think there's be that many ramifications. I think he'll be moping for a while, trying to comprehend the loss. But, like, you know, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, personally. I'll make that bold prediction. I don't think it's going to be as big as people are already saying. And they're building up so much in their head, saying, kill him off! Like, it's not going to be that bad, guys. Come on.
Well, would you guess the next comment? Let's just kill him off already.
Shocked Pikachu face. What a surprise.
I can see Nugget bitching this rookie. We don't lie to each other, do we, Daddy? Dada? Completely ignoring the whopper of a secret that he's kept from her, the near fatal consequences for her and her wife, probably threatening to shop Denise to the police, completely ignoring the fact that D is now actually covering for him. I'm probably too optimistic, but I hope Nish blabbing about Denise, but not Kiana, can be used in a positive way. For all the bullshit Nish was spouting to Nugget about how amazing his and Suki's marriage used to be, and her being the love of their life, coupled with that reunion, I can totally see Nugget victim blaming, accusing Suki of leading them on. The partial truth being known, Denise and Stacey can tell the truth about Nish blackmailing Suki into being with him, despite knowing fully well she was a lesbian and in full love with Eve, and Suki sacrificing herself to save them all from prison and keep their kids from losing their moms. Denise can also explain why she bottled them in the first place. Whether he believes it or not is another story. I think that Delulu is going to be strong with this one for a while, but at least they can explain the reunion and that basic. And that because admittedly it must be confusing from his point of view. And again, both he and Vanny knew deep down it wasn't what she wanted, but based on what they said to Stacey, hopefully Vanny will continue to call him out.
That was indeed a text wall. Sure. I don't fucking care. He said a lot of words. They said a lot of words and didn't really say much about it. I mean, there's a chance Nugget goes and, like I said, still pleads Nish's case despite everybody being well done with him. Like, there's obviously the room for it. You want someone to be affected by it in a sad way. And I think he'll put him at odds with Avani, put him at odds with Priya, put him at odds with Ravi. And hey, there's a chance as a reckless teen, maybe he puts some pressure on people to, you know, tell him the fucking truth about Nish. But there's a chance you won't believe it. So, yeah, fair enough.
The next comment is for Ash. I want to agree with you. You started so strong, but text all. Oh, I think that Chrissy CC, Clenshaw and Co have left the six as open as possible for the new producer to do as he pleases when he steps into the role in February. If he's not as interested in the six, he can pause it with Nish there. Have Linda come back from rehab relatively guilt-free, shrugging to move on from the story as a whole. Alternatively, the new crew can go down the Nugget route, as the other commenters have pointed out, and have him really pressure them for answers on what happened to Christmas 2023. I imagine Chris Clench's final 2 months will be tying up the other stories being juggled with, meaning that the six is a temporary conclusion. For now. I don't think so. Nish mentioning Christmas dinner.
I suppose just on that, I think that I do think it will be. I do think it will be paused. It has been paused and probably will come back at the 40th. But if it'll feel like it'll be a bit of a missed opportunity to not wrap it up succinctly by the end. It'll be another like blank spot on his resume because it's kind of like, well, it started off with all this bang and then just sizzled out, you know? There was nothing sustained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just a few more here. I don't think so, Nish. Mentioning Christmas to the niece and brother, no, it can't be a coincidence. I'm hoping it's referred to in small ways in the years to come. They won't all have to live with what they've done and covered up. They could have spent more time exploring Elaine's reaction and Eve too, and how exactly is Bernie managing to harmony with Kathy, knowing that what Kathy covered up in the same building, and sitting drinking coffee on top of where her brother was buried. It's just too weird. I don't care, lads. Secrets and lies always bite someone on the ass sooner or later, especially on EastEnders. Do you remember how that story with Max?
That's a soundbite for sure. That's a fucking. Who's that from? The EastEnders PR team. Secrets and lies always bite someone on the ass sooner or later. Like fucking, what trailer are we fucking hyping up now? Like fucking.
In a world where you think you're a dwarf.
Look, it has to wrap up. If it doesn't, it's bollocks. Like, sorry. Look, I'm not of the opinion that a good ending that a bad ending ruins everything. But no ending at all is fucking terrible. But there will be an ending. You have to imagine it's his big fucking storyline. Him with Linda, it's his fucking smoking gun. He's fucking prize child of this era of the show. So I refuse to believe that it will just wrap up succinctly. I refuse that it won't wrap up succinctly. But in true Chris Clenshaw fashion, it's just stewing in the background for now. We're not thinking about it. But I suppose, unless you really want to read any more comments, I think we've reached a natural conclusion.
That's what I was going to say, mate. Thank you for reading my mind, and thank you for the lovely people on Reddit. We totally appreciate you.
Just to ask another question though. So to conclude, do we think the sixth storyline has been a failure?
Jesus, that's in a sense, yes.
Just to summarize,
in a sense, yes. We've come to the conclusion the sixth storyline is a failure, has been a failure, with ropey conclusions and weird exits. The only good thing about it is that it's a winding road, that we don't know the full answer to the ending just yet. But to answer it, yeah, it's been a failure. It has definitely been a failure. I don't know why I give you the politician answer, like fucking, well...
No, like, you're not wrong. We have pretty much figured that there's a lot of more grey areas than there are good. And you can't survive on past, like, honours. You can't still be coasting off the momentum of Christmas. You needed to explore it further. And yes, people have faced consequences for their actions, but fundamentally, it's probably still not enough. You know, no one's really paid... Look, everybody's technically paid for Keanu's death, but they still killed a man, admittedly in self-defense. But you still need there to be some major fucking action for them to finally, like, have it be put to bed, be put behind them. It's with one moment of madness that's bound them together forever, but still, no one's really paid the ultimate price. So, yeah, I think ultimately it's been a failure, but I'll leave the caveat in there that There is a chance that with a good ending, it can once again be propped back up. It's just the middle bit, the bit we've just watched for a year, has been fucking shit.
And to end it off, I'm going to make a lovely reference here. If Linda did do the murder, she could write a book saying she didn't do the murder. So yeah, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.